I'm not sure many of us have thought too much about the world of assessment prior to this class, but already we've started to see how important it is to utilize assessing in the best way that we can. In assessing, there are several purposes. One is accountability. Accountability is the data that we show to those that we're accountable to. We'll talk about this later in the presentation. Improvement is using the data to make improvements to teaching and learning. Accountability ought to be embraced, for unless we regularly consider the impact of our efforts, we will regularly deceive ourselves about our achievements, become increasingly ineffective as we seek or find less and less real feedback, and thus ultimately become fatalistic about the child's ability to learn. Who then are schools accountable to? There are states, which provide much of the funding for institutions of higher education. There's the federal government, accrediting organizations, and third parties. A professional takes responsibility and does not wait to be held accountable. Though we see accountability much in schools, we do need to improve on what we receive the evidence of assessment. The purpose of assessment is to improve performance, not just to audit it. No teacher worthy of the name should allow assessment to be relegated to what one does after teaching. How then can we do this? We can start by doing one thing at a time. Those things we're talking about are outcomes. Outcomes are the results we want from what our students do. These can vary from an understanding, demonstrating, mastering, applying, analyzing, presenting, developing, fulfilling, and much more. We can also give helpful feedback. Feedback should evaluate the results of the action as well as give proper guidance for the future. It's also important to communicate with the students. As I said before, communication is very important. I was never communicated with when it came to assessments. I think that it's important to help the students help us make a sense of the evidence and to possibly even form responses. Overall, assessing is important, but it's even more important that we do something about what we receive.